In the first video, when I looked at the Carrier blower that was making noise, I kind of did a temporary fix, but I had to get the blower. And I've been waiting for a while. It's finally come in. So I'm not going to touch on how to take it apart in the furnace. Watch the first video for that. This one's going to concentrate on how to replace that blower wheel that goes bad. It's not hard to do. You can save yourself a pile of money doing it yourself. Watch this. In this video, I'm going to show you how to change the blower wheel, because this is my blower that was defective and I finally got the new one in. So we're going to change the blower wheel on this unit in this video. It's pretty simple to do. We just have to unbolt it, take the motor out, then we have to actually open this up to slip the new blower wheel in. So I'm going to grab a wrench. We're going to unbolt the actual blower wheel itself. As you can see, that's my temporary fix. It's kept me going until the new part arrived. Let's change it. So I'm going to use a crescent wrench to loosen off the lock nut here that holds it on the shaft. Now I can remove the motor from the other side, or I should say the 4 mounting brackets, because Carrier use a 4-arm design for their motors. Okay, to remove the actual blower wheel, we have to take out a couple screws on the side here. They're standard 1/4-inch drive screws. So we remove these 2 screws. There's 2 more screws at the back here. That might help. To remove those, I can actually pull this whole piece out. There we go. Now the blower wheel will lift out. Gorilla glue. As you can see, it did stick pretty good. And it probably would have worked for years. It's just it wasn't balanced properly, so I didn't want to run it. I didn't want to run it too long. Just long enough so that we had air, because we've been going through a heat wave here where it's been close to between 85 and or so degrees over the last month or so. We had a really hot May here, even though everybody jokes, oh, you're in Canada, it's cold there. Well, it actually gets pretty warm here. Okay, got the new blower wheel. Let's get it out of the box. This is a precision part, and it only goes in one way. The mounting nut side goes the side facing away from where the motor goes in. So we'll lower in the new blower wheel. Set it into the base. Okay. This piece goes back in. Screws go into it to hold it in place. I've got the blower kind of centered. I'm going to place the motor back in here. I've got the set screw facing this direction, so there's a flat side on the motor shaft. I rotate it so that goes through here. We'll see what happens. So I got the motor in place. Motor drops through the shaft there, like that. Once the fan is centered, tighten up the retaining nut. Now the fan spins freely. And that's not the way it turns this way. There we go. Got a bit of a breeze there. Okay, let's see how it works. Low speed. Try medium speed. And finally, high speed. Oh, that's powerful. I just blew all the papers down off the wall. That thing gets really moving. But as you can see, it's perfectly balanced now. So I don't have to worry about anything falling apart. So I'm going to go mount this back in the furnace, and that's how you change the blower wheel on a Carrier direct drive heat pump system. Pretty simple. A heck of a lot cheaper than paying someone else to do it. I think this thing costs, I think it was about 120 bucks. Let's go take a look at the invoice. I'll tell you what this wheel cost. Yeah, $120 Canadian is what this cost me. Now, when I priced this thing out, and I went through a few places in the States, Reliable Parts was one. They quoted me $157.60 US, but they don't ship to Canada. So they gave me the number of Carrier. So I contacted Carrier, but of course it was Carrier USA, and they quoted me the same price, $157 US. But of course they won't ship to Canada either, so they gave me Carrier Canada's number. And Carrier Canada, this was, I mean, I went through a whole ordeal to get this thing. Carrier Canada, yeah, they've got the part, but no, they won't sell it to me because they only sell to installers. They are wholesale only, and they only sell to installers. Well, I went through about a half a dozen names that they gave me, and not one of them was willing to sell me the blower wheel. I had to book a service call, and it was going to be about $500 to replace it. And I think you can imagine what I told all these clowns on the phone. I said, I'm not paying you guys $500 for a $150 part. I'm perfectly capable of taking out 4 screws here, 2 screws to hold it in place, and undoing a couple bolts. I think I'm perfectly capable. Oh no, we can't sell it to you for liability. Finally, I went back to the company. I found the company, and I mean, they're a long ways out. It's like it's an hour drive each way from my house to the company that actually put the system in when I built the house. I went back to the company that put the system in, and I said, hey, I need a blower wheel. And they said, yep, no problem, 120 bucks. There it is. Factory Carrier original. Factory authorized parts. Blower wheel. Right? From Carrier Corporation. Made in the United States. So it's not like I've got an aftermarket blower. I've got the original one that came with the furnace, and it's all factory balanced. Ready to go back together. I'm not going to show you guys reassembly the furnace because I showed you guys that the last time when I took the old one apart and kind of made it work for the couple weeks that I've been waiting to get this part, because it took like 3 weeks to get this thing. So anyway, that's how you change this. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you again in the next one real soon.